senior year for most of us. Brigitte and JR would go on to graduate a year earlier, and Wags was having so much fun at college, he decided to add another year. Fantasy lived on, the gold rush started to dominate, and our league grew bigger and bigger. In '88, we welcomed Dr. Brigitte, TK, Lubin-Chap, Sas to the sweetest and surely the greatest draft class in our history. 1989, Pidge joined this great league due to his being Fro's roommate in good old Glenside, Pennsylvania. In 1990, Lub, Country, and I took a little vacation to visit TK in his bachelor pad on Clearwater Beach right before the Gulf War, where we were introduced to this crazy character named Sipey. It was literally an encyclopedia of useless TV information. And we all agreed that it was either the biggest loser we had ever met, or perhaps the coolest dude we never realized we needed in our lives.
Jury's still out.
I think you know which one ended up being correct. Sipey soon reluctantly from his side was pulled into the sweetest, and the rest is history. 1990 was also the dawning of the Mad Ayatollah franchise as we welcomed Rich and Boomer and also our dear friend Heck to this league as we reached 16 owners from where we have stood ever since. Kevin and TC formed the Sharks in '92, and they have been amazing league owners ever since. In the late '90s, post-college, married life, I became a golf fanatic, which led to annual golf trips where I first was introduced to Ludes through TK. To this day, I still have never seen Ludes angry or have a bad word to say about anybody. Ludes ultimately became my primary golf party buddy, as he has joined me at many, many golf tournaments and other sporting events, as he is always the life of the party. Witness this morning. We brought Ludes into the league in '99, and he is now the only owner without his name on the Heck Trophy, and with Love and myself as the longest current drought without a title. The final piece to the sweetest puzzle was Matt, as he came into my world, first I believe at Harry Callis' Hall of Fame induction, and obviously more importantly through his marriage to Chap's sister, as he was and is the only owner which married into the sweetest. While I berated him many, many times, fairly I may add.
It's been 10 years, Kyle.
In his early years of the sweetest existence, he weathered the storm and finally became a well-deserving fantasy champion this year. Congrats. Through all those years, that connection that kept us intertwined was fantasy football. For now, going on 39 years, the league has been my life. The sweetest league has endured for all this time due to the sweetest owners. What started in a small dorm room in College Park blossomed into indisputably the greatest fantasy league in our land. 16 owners, 39 years, truly unprecedented. Still not sure how ESPN has not done a 30 for 30 on our league. More on that another time. I know my Hall of Fame induction is probably more based on being your humble commissioner all these years, but believe it or not, I used to be a winning owner in this league. From the coaching and GM side, let's just do a rather quick walkthrough of my favorite. First, let's relay some of the heartbreaks to get those out of the way. In doing my research, I came to realize that the Seattle Seahawks on a Monday night game have cost me 2 of my all-time worst. How's this for an intro into fantasy heartbreak? Take yourself back to the fall of 1985, season number 1 of the sweetest. Week 3 battle against my roommate Country. The Roadrunners, who later became the Gold Rush, great trivia question, led the Tremendous 10, who later became the Hillbillies, late on Monday night. I had Dave Craig and Kurt Warner, indisputably the 2 best players on the Seahawks, and they were getting stomped by the LA Rams, 31-18 with a few minutes remaining. Well, Craig throws a pick 6 to Johnny Johnson with 2 minutes left in the game, making it 38-17 Rams, and basically game over, no worries, I'll hold on for a win. Well, on the last drive after the pick 6, they take Craig out and insert backup Gail Gilbert into the game. Literally 27 seconds remain in the game, and from basically midfield, the 47-yard line, Gilbert chucks up a Hail Mary that gets caught by the one player that could cost me the game. Country had started Darryl Turner that week, and instantly I had my first brutal fantasy loss. I was shocked how I could lose that game. Little did I know there would be more fun to come in the following years. Nobody can ever forget Derek fucking Brent. He will live in infamy in LA due to his career game on a Monday night with 3 TDs as I watched my guy, John L. Williams, lead the way each time with great blocks. Steve Christie's 55-yard field goal at the gun had me more miserable than one should ever get, and sent me to the kitchen to do the dishes, then tossing my hat at the TV as I stormed upstairs like a 5-year-old who just got punished by his parents, while Love and Chap laughed hysterically. Philadelphia Gas Works, putting up a league high at the time, 99 points on me, sat as well as a cheesesteak with extra fried onions, sits in Big Toe's stomach. However, nothing will likely top Cato June running down the sidelines for my Colts D, late on a Monday night game versus the Ravens, literally untouched, only to mysteriously run out of bounds near the 10-yard line as a limping Joe Flacco was in pursuit to cost me a crucial game that I had to have. There are so many more, but we would be here all night, and you've heard enough of me by now. The highlights, well, fortunately, there have been a few, just none in the last 21 years. Winning fantasy bowls, 4 of them, as Love mentioned, 6 fantasy bowl appearances, 306 all-time wins, second all-time to Love, who was 314, 21 playoff appearances in 38 years, a 60% clip, and becoming the first member of Mount Gold Rushmore. A few shout-outs to some of my all-time favorite players who gave their heart and soul to the Gold Rush. Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare, was the first guy I ever snaked from TK back at the George Washington. Icky Woods and his Icky Shuffle. Ernest Givens with his magical little dance. I can't do that right now. David Boston Debo, who I had for his best ever season for the Cardinals. Heinz Ward, Rod Bernstein, the first H-back controversy in the sweetest. You will notice there are no quarterbacks in this group, as the Rush have never valued that position. Hence Aaron Brooks, Rex Grossman, and today Brock Purdy. You'll also notice that all my favorite players all played about 20 years ago, hence my lack of a fantasy title. To serve as your very humble, unpaid, to Jay, I hope you all heard JR today. Unpaid, again, hardworking, ethical, completely transparent commissioner for the past 38 years. Has truly been the most amazing experience. I look forward to all of you joining me in this Hall of Fame over the next 8 to 10 years. I thought we were going to do 2 players. Look forward to all of you joining me in the next 8 to 10 years, if we make it that long, and continue to cherish these weekend getaways. We all know it's the best weekend of our years, not because of where we go, but because of who we are with. Cheers.